Who's actually going to get value out of a left-hand transaxle for an Exmark radius mower? If you're running an E-Series or S-Series that needs a direct replacement, you'll probably find this part useful. If you're a casual homeowner with a standard zero-turn, you might be better off looking elsewhere. And the big question most people ask themselves, does the price make sense for a part that you'll only ever swap once? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last few weeks digging through Exmark service manuals, watching a handful of how-to videos from actual service techs, and scrolling through forums where commercial landscapers compare OEM versus third-party components. The consensus is simple when you're dealing with a transaxle: fit is everything. The 126-4882 is the genuine Exmark Toro factory part number, which means the gear ratios, shaft lengths, and mounting tabs are identical to the piece that came off the production line. That's why most pros will reach for the OEM number first before considering a generic alternative. Now, let's talk about who should actually consider buying this. If you own an Exmark E-Series radius mower that's been in a rental fleet or a landscaping business and the left-hand transaxle has shown signs of wear, say, grinding noises when you're making tight left turns, or the mower refuses to engage on that side, you're exactly the audience this part serves. It also makes sense for anyone who has already verified that their model year falls within the compatibility list for the E-Series and S-Series radius. Those who have the original part number printed on the old component can cross-check it, and if it matches, you're good to go. On the flip side, if you're not comfortable taking a mower apart, or you don't have the tools to disconnect the drive belt, the hydraulic lines, and the steering linkage, this isn't the ideal purchase. The transaxle sits deep inside the mower's chassis, and a misstep can lead to stripped bolts or misaligned gears that cost you more in labor than the part itself. Also, anyone with a right-hand radius configuration should skip this entirely. It won't bolt onto the opposite side without a whole set of adapters that the manufacturer doesn't sell. One of the practical strengths of opting for the genuine 126-4882 is the peace of mind that comes from a perfect match. In the field, a mismatched gear set can cause uneven wear on the tires, leading to a mower that pulls to one side or, worse, a sudden loss of power during a cut. Because this is the exact part Exmark uses in the factory, you avoid the trial and error that sometimes comes with compatible but not identical replacements. For a business that can't afford downtime, that reliability translates directly into money saved. A hidden trade-off, however, is the price tag. OEM parts are rarely cheap, and the 126-4882 is priced higher than a generic transaxle you might find on a marketplace that claims fits most radius mowers. The savings you get from buying a non-OEM part can be tempting, but the risk is you end up with a component that doesn't line up with the internal bearings or the output shaft. In my research, the few techs I watched warned that a misaligned transaxle can cause premature wear on the drive belts, which then become a recurring expense. So the value here really comes from avoiding that cascade of follow-up repairs. When it comes to installation, the process is fairly straightforward if you've done any mower maintenance before. You'll need to remove the mower deck, disconnect the hydraulic lines, and take off the drive belt to free the transaxle housing. Once the old unit is out, the new 126-4882 slides into place, bolts line up with the same torque specs you see in the service manual, and you reassemble in reverse. The key practical tip I picked up from a veteran service tech is to inspect the surrounding seals and replace them at the same time. You won't be opening the mower again for months if you do it now. If you're a landscaper who runs multiple mowers on a tight schedule, the ability to order a single component and have it shipped quickly can be a game changer. Many suppliers keep the OEM part in stock because it's a high turnover item for commercial fleets. That means you're less likely to be stuck waiting weeks for a backordered component, which can cripple a job site. The downside is you'll need a reliable shipping address and possibly a freight forwarder if you're outside the US, as the part isn't typically sold in local hardware stores. Another practical consideration is warranty and support. Because this is a genuine Exmark part, you can usually rely on the manufacturer's warranty policies if you register the purchase or keep the receipt. That's something you lose with a third.